Alright, today I'm gonna go on Dribbble and I'm gonna look for a nice looking design and let's clone it using Flutter. So I'm just looking through Dribbble here and let's pick one. This one looks nice and clean. It's like a mental health app. And let's try to make this first page. This looks nice and simple. Alright, cool. So let's just go to my terminal. I'm going to create a new file in my projects. So Flutter create, let's call this mental health app. Looks like I have a new version of Flutter, but I'm not going to upgrade that yet. Okay, so let's go to Visual Studio Code. Open this. I have so many apps. What did we call it? Mental health app. Cool, and let's just open this iOS simulator and put this on my new monitor here. And let's run this. Cool, so while that's loading, looks like we're going to have a sort of blue background on the top. We have a search bar and we have these how do you feel icons that we can press, and then just a vertical list of different exercises we can do. And we have this little bottom navigation bar. Okay, let's give this a go. So here is our blank app. I'm just going to delete this and start everything from scratch. And let's put this in a new folder called pages, homepage.dart, whoops, material.dart, and this one is going to be a stateful widget. Man, I feel like I haven't created one of these UIs in a while. Okay, now if I save this, it should just be a blank app. Now in the background, so let's just try to match what they did, right? So let's make it blue, but maybe a bit darker. Yeah, maybe like a 800. Cool. And then, yeah, let's just slowly start doing this, right? So let's have a big column and I'm going to have a row. And let's comment a little plan here. So, at the top we have, hi Jared. And then you got the notification. So let's just start with this, right? So text widget, I'm going to say, hi Jared. And you can see it's scrunched up there. So I'm going to wrap my body in a widget called safe area. Cool. And let's change this style. Make the color white. Make the font size bigger and make the font weight bold. Okay, good. And also this column, let's wrap in a padding of 25. There it is. And what else? So we've got hi Jared, and then next to it we have a little notification bell. So let's get an icon. Notification bell. Yep, let's just go for this one. And this one is also black, so let's just change this to white. And I want it on the end here, so let's go to this row and go main axis alignment and space. No, we're gonna go end. Whoops. Space between. And this one, I want to have a little container around this. So let's wrap it in a widget. And in the decoration, the color, let's make it blue, but let's make it a bit lighter than our background. So you can see it's got a little box there. Let's give it some padding. (16). It's a bit too much, let's say 12. And of course we have to curve these corners, right? Alright, sick. Cool, and then below this we should have a little date. Right, so how am I going to do this? So let's wrap this text widget in a column. And I'm going to have a text widget. And for now, let's just put in a fixed string. So just 23rd of Jan to 21. Okay. Let's make this color not white. Let's make it blue, but a very light blue. Yeah. And also because it's in a column, it's kind of aligned to the center. So let's change this cross-axis alignment to be at the start. Sweet. And I want a bit of space between them. So let's say 8. Cool. Okay, so far so good. Now I did that bit. So let's add a search bar and then these icons here. So right now we have this row. And so I'm just gonna say like greetings row, so that below this I can put a search bar. So I'm gonna keep adding comments so that I can read my code easily. Okay, so container and then child and then row. First of all, I want to put in a search icon. And then next to that, I want to say search. In the decoration, let's say box decoration. And same thing for the color, we want to make it blue, but just slightly lighter than the actual background. Okay, it's looking good so far. Add some padding here. And let's make this border radius 12. What did I make it for the other one? I made it 12 as well. Okay. Cool. And I want some space between that, so let's just add a sized box, height of 20, and we need a sized box between the row. Sized box. Maybe 5. Cool, looking good so far. Maybe we can make this size box 25. Now let's copy this sized box and have another sized box, and below this we want to have the how do you feel. So text, I'm actually going to come up here and copy this text widget because it's quite similar. How do you feel? And the size, let's make it like 22. Actually, we can make it 18. And also, I want this to be aligned to the left. So let's wrap this in a row. And I want to have an icon more. Yep, this one. Cool, and there it is, but it should be white. And also main axis alignment, space between. Hell yeah. Okay, and then below this, so we got up to here, let's add these icons. So how do you feel? Bad, fine, well, excellent. And it looks like we can just use some emoticons for that. So let's add another sized box below this. Oops. And this is going to be, what should we call this? 4 different faces. So this is going to be a row again, and let's put in some comments here. So badly, I feel fine, I feel well, and I feel excellent. Cool. And let's come up here and grab that bell. Now, since we're going to write this 4 times, I'm actually going to create a new folder called utilities, and what should I call this? Emoticon face ... Because if we're going to repeat a lot of code, then this is what we should do. So emoticon face. I'm just going to copy this one in, and instead of this icon, let's put a text widget in. And just for now, let's just see in the emojis. Let's just see what happens if I put this in. Emoticon face. Yay, okay, there it is. And this child, let's center it. I don't think that did anything. And we want to style this and just change the size to be a bit bigger. And this one, we don't want to just hard code this, so let's come up here and say final string, because it's a string, emoticon face. And then here, say this dot emoticon face. And let's require it. So instead of hard coding this, just whatever the emoticon face is. So emoticon face, so this is where, so the first one's bad, right? Like I'm feeling bad. Let's look for a sad face. And also let's put this in a column so that beneath this we can say bad. Like that. But we want to make this white. And also just give it a bit of space. 8. Let's copy this and do fine. Fine should be a moderate smile, so let's just go with this one. I'm doing well. Bit of a bigger smile. And then I'm doing excellent. Cool, there it is. Now we want to space this properly. Cool. Okay, so far so good. So now if we look at this, we want this section, right? So what I'm gonna do is below this row, let's put a container. And let's call it a white container. And just expand this shit. Okay, so it looks like because of our padding, we had a safe area, so that's kind of contributing to this bit. Let's just see if I put a bottom navigation bar. I need to put a bottom nav bar item. Okay, so it's like that. Now I'm actually going to get rid of this safe area because I think that's why we have this little gap. Oh, actually we don't need to do that. Looks like I put the padding on all, so let's just go symmetric, horizontal. Okay, so that takes care of that bit. But I do want this to be filled up with the white space. So what I'm going to do is let's just get rid of this padding. And then this stuff at the top up until here, wrap this in a column. And so we have a column inside of a column, and then this guy can have a padding. Okay, looking good. And let's put a sized box there. Cool. And then we can wrap this guy in a clip rect. Okay, so I don't want that on the bottom. I only want it on the top. Okay. What if I get rid of this? How do I get this curve only on the top and not the bottom? Maybe we have to use a stack. Or you know what? Just for now, we can just get rid of the clip rect and we'll just do this. And then in the child, let's put another column, text widget saying exercise. Man, how do you spell exercise? Exercises. But you should have this column in a center widget. And wrap this in a row so that we can have that more icon. Icons, more. Let's get it. And then main axis alignment, space between. But we want to have some padding here, right? So padding, edge insets all, 25. And let's make this exercise a bit more bold and bigger. Font weight is bold. Size is 20. Cool. Is that even how you spell exercise? I think we don't need a C in there. Okay. Now we want these little exercises to do. So we're going to use a list view since this should be scrollable. So this is our exercise heading. And then below this, we want to have a list view of exercises. And again, we want to create this in a new file since we're going to repeat a lot of things. But just for now, let's just create it here real quick. So container. And then in the child of this container, you could use a list tile actually. And then there's a leading, which you can say icons. Let's go with a heart. But this container decoration, decoration, box decoration, color, And also just change the border radius to be 16. Just so we can see this a bit better, let's change this a bit darker gray. Cool. And let's put a size box between this, so 20. And then what do we have? Title? Is this a title? Is this a string? No, it's just a widget. Okay, so text widget. For now, let's just say speaking skills. Wait, I thought this was a mental health app. Why do they have speaking skills and speaking skills, reading skills? Oh, okay, I guess there's like a category. So you got relationships, career, education, stuff like that. Radio. Alright, so let's just go with this. So speaking skills. Is there a sub? Oh, there is subtitle. Sick. Because we want to say something like 15 exercises. Oh, cool. It already makes it smaller and stuff like that. Cool, but I don't like why. I don't like how that's up there like that. Yeah, you know what? Screw this list tile. I'm gonna create my own row. Icon. Icons favorite. And then let's give some padding. And then this is where I'm gonna put a column because I want the title, and then under that I want a subtitle. Okay, so this one was speaking skills. And then beneath this, it's another text widget, but I want to say something like 16 exercises. Cool. Now we're gonna need some space between the icon. So something like this. Maybe let's go with 12. And then you see how this is aligned. So I want it to be aligned to the start. Gang. Let's make this it is 14 by default, right? So let's make this 18. Too big, 16. Cool. And I think we should actually make this also bold. Leave it as 14, but then make the color gray. Yeah, like that. And between this, we can put in a sized box, just a small one. And this looks pretty good so far. Cool, and then at the end of this row, so you got the column here, and at the end of the row, we want the more icon as well. So icon, icons, more. Cool, now the way you want to align this, so just to show you, if I go to this, if I go to this row here, right? Oh wait, it's this one. So if I go to this row, and I main axis alignment space between, so I want to push this to the end, right? But because I have a lot of other elements in there, it kind of brings these guys as well. So I don't want that to happen. So what you're going to do is wrap everything but that icon in a row. Okay, and then just the overall row. So right now nothing should be changed, but the overall row we can say space between. Cool, and so this I grouped it together so that we can put a space between these two guys. Hell yeah. Okay, now just to make this kind of similar looking in terms of the decoration, let's just put some boxes around these icons, right? So where is our heart? Here. So you want to wrap this around in a column, in a container. Padding, just to give some space. 16. Color, orange. And then wrap this in a clip rect, because we can just change this border radius circular 12, which means we can change this to be white. Sick. All right, now again, we want to have a lot more under these, right? So what we're going to do is let's copy this container, right? And come to the utilities, create a new file, and let's call this exercise tile. Exercise tile. And replace this container with what we had before. Which means we can come back to the home page, and now we can say, so now we can actually use a list view here. Whoops, children, exercise tile. And this list view, we need to fill up the rest of the space. Cool, so nothing changed. Let's see if we can add a couple more. Hey, there it is. Which now reminds us that we should put some padding, but in this case, I want it only on the bottom. Cool, and also, we can now think about, all right, well, the tile is built, but what do we want to vary between the tiles? So what are the different variables? So first of all is the icon. So let's just say icon, and then final string the exercise name, final string number of exercises. Okay, so those are the three things. This dot icon, this dot exercise name, this dot number of exercises, and let's require each of these guys. Right, so this icon, come over here, instead of it being an icon favorite, just whatever icon that we pass through. Exercise name, right? We don't want to hard code speaking skills. And then number of exercises. This one actually we can just change it to an integer. Makes more sense. Number of exercises to string, like that. Cool, so if I come back here now, we can specify here to be icons.favorite. Exercise name is speaking skills, and then the number of exercises, just put in a number. Cool. And so we can do the same thing for some of these other ones. Right, but let's change up this icon. Let's go reading skills. Just change it to 8. And then the last one, put a star. We'll say writing skills. Cool, so it looks like it's all changed. And the last thing is actually the color. We didn't make it a variable. So let's say final color required this dot color, and this is orange, so just whatever the color is. Colors dot blue, or maybe green. Colors dot, I don't know, pink. And there it is. Now just the bottom navigation bar, let's say like message and person. Cool. So each of these icons you can change it to whatever you want. I just used the default icons, but that looks pretty close. Now one thing is I do need to know how to do this curve, but only for the top part. That's something that we can, let me know if you know how to do that. But yeah, cool. So that's basically it. I love cloning Dribbble designs. It's really useful, especially for anyone listening. If you want to improve your coding skills and UI skills, you can obviously work your butt off to make one UI, but I really recommend what we did here, where it's like you look at a Dribbble design and then just try to make it up on the spot from scratch. And so hopefully that was helpful, and let me know if you like this kind of casual style of video. Yeah, I just did this in one sitting. Usually when I make a tutorial, it takes me a lot of time to, make it look nice and put it all together. But yeah, let me know if you like this kind of casual thing. And also if you have a particular design from Dribbble or anywhere else that you want me to clone, put it in the comments below, okay? And then maybe if I like it, I'll also clone that design as well. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.